Don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell and to check out the join membership option.
Hey guys, so welcome to this video, and today I'll be showing you how to make some HAMON moves from the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure anime series. So I'm not even sure if I'm pronouncing this correctly, so I'm talking about the HAMON skill, so that yellow lightning thing which was used against Dio, and which was taught to Jonathan and Joseph later on. Okay, so that's the topic for today's video. So this is a JoJo video, obviously. So many of you guys have been wishing more JoJo videos, and I have been doing a lot of One Piece stuff recently, and told you guys that I'm going to be switching over to another type of videos or another topics after my Gear 4 video, and there we go. Okay, so I won't fully stop with One Piece videos, so I will still bring some One Piece content, of course, but I will also try to bring other anime stuff as well. Okay, so enough with this talking. I want to thank you guys for all of your support, and for the 4,000 subscribers, of course, again. And if you consider yourself as a part of this community, then please comment #bosses, okay? And there's another thing, so I have been receiving some complaints about me using copyright music in many of my old videos, and I tried to take them down in order to stop all of these content ID flaggings. Is that the way to say it? So content ID flagged my videos as, or my old videos as inappropriate, and therefore I had to take some actions, which I'm not gonna describe further. But many of my other videos have been using these types of music, and therefore I had to take them down and take them back online after I noticed that taking them down does not work. They still have been flagged as inappropriate, but I think that I have managed to deal with this now. So I think that all of these issues are now solved, so everything is okay, guys. But in case something happens, my second channel is linked down in the description, guys. Okay, so now enough with the talking. Now let's get into this video. So what we want to do first of all, so I have this program right here called paint.net. So this is obviously for creating graphical stuff, and what we want to do now is we want to create the HAMON lightning. Okay, so everything I do is self-made, and I try to not copy stuff from others or take any free models. Okay, so except for the sounds. So when it comes to sounds, I actually like to take other people's work. Okay, but enough of the talking, now let's begin. So you will need this program, paint.net, so a link will be in the description, and I expect from you guys that you somehow can understand what I'm doing right here, so understand a bit of the basics and how this program overall works in order to proceed. Okay, guys, so now we should begin. Okay, now once you start this program, you will see this. Okay, go to image and go to resize. Let's set this size to 500 times 500, and you see this background thing right here. So these are your layers. Okay, so the issue is that my recording program does not record these tabs. Let me see if there's like any way to record them. Okay, hold on, guys, I'll try to fix this. Okay, guys, so there we go. So I've got this to work. So this is the layers tab I was like talking about, and yeah, so you can untick this in order to make this invisible, And so we will keep it for this moment, and got this button right here to add a new layer. So this is what we will do now, and then go to line, and so this toolbar, go to line and select the color yellow here down below. Okay, now can increase this brush width, of course, and now move on with creating this lightning effect. So I have to admit, I'm not that good with graphical stuff myself, so I have some other people who do this work for me, but I'm not that bad as well, so I'm pretty decent, I would say. But for someone who's like doing this graphic work on a daily basis, I would probably be a absolute noob, I guess. So these people are like pretty insane. I mean, take a look at what kind of things they can do. They create very cool Roblox game logos and very cool thumbnails. You know. So while I'm like doing this right here, I'd like to talk about this copyright issue I had in the past days. So you guys have probably like noticed that I've took down many of my old videos and put them back on. So as I've said in the past, these videos contained, or many of them contained, this copyright music I was talking about, and using this copyright music without any permission from its actual owner would make Content ID flag this video as inappropriate, okay, and forced me to take action by cutting things out or muting the music or whatsoever. So it was actually up to me, and I have to say sorry first of all to you guys for taking these videos down for a short period of time, but also sorry for the actual owner of this music. So I was using his or her music without even asking him, and well, my channel was pretty small at that time, and I did not even think about that somebody would like complain about me using his or her work on my small channel, you know, guys. So I did not actually think about it, which was pretty foolish for me, so I'm pretty sorry for that, and I will always make sure that I'm like not using anyone's work, and if I do so, then with his or her permission, of course. So that's small real talk from me. Okay, so this is the lightning thing I was talking about, so it looks pretty bad. And go to effects right here, then go to tools, and well, first of all, duplicate this layer, then go to tools and smudge. I think it must be smudge. So this is a plugin from Pyrochild. So you have to find it somewhere on Google. So you have to Google it and find it somewhere and install it. So I won't be showing you guys how this installation of these plugins work. So there are also many other plugins which are pretty useful, which you can probably install and use. And I will show you guys what this plugin does. So this plugin, you can like drag these lines and make things look like this. Okay, so of course, depending on your parameters you have adjusted right here. So as you can see, pressure is on 100%. If I would have lowered this thing right here, then this would look completely different. But we want this thing to look like a lightning, you know. Now guys, since I have like leaked my voice, would you guys watch a live stream if I have made a live stream? So maybe I would play some Roblox while talking with you guys instead of the chat, so you can like ask me questions instead of the live stream chat, and I like give you answers, introduce myself, so you guys probably did not know anything about me, which is also good. So I also want to like enjoy my privacy, and I can ask stuff to you guys, or we can just play Roblox together. So I think that this would be pretty cool, but it's actually up to you, so you decide. So if you want to see any live stream, then comment #livestream, okay? So I can see who's down for a live stream, guys. Okay, so this is our lightning right here, and this is the duplicated layer. So this was our lightning before, and this is how it looks right now after this effect. So this is a huge difference. And what we will do now with this copied layer right here is go to effects, then go to I have to look myself, so go to blurs, no, go to blurs, and then go to this thing, and then make it blur. Then you can enable this again, and now this looks like so this lightning has some transparent yellow outline to it, which looks pretty cool in my opinion. So what we could do as well is we could copy this lightning, this edited lightning thing, then like select it and paint it to white, and then go down here to this wrench symbol, or to this wrench icon, which is our layers property. And then you can like either set the transparency down, or you can play around with these blend modes. So let's see what Paint.net has to offer. So I actually think that this looks quite nice. So I think that I will probably stick with this, go with this. And now if we disable this background, so let's totally delete it, then our lightning looks like this. And I think that this is actually pretty cool. So this is our lightning, which we will use for our HAMON now. So this took up 14 minutes, 15 minutes now. And so this is it with Paint.net. So if you want to save your work, go to File, and then Save As. And it's very important that you save this image as a .png, okay? So this is pretty important. If you do not save this file as a PNG, then you won't have this transparent background right here. We'll have a white background instead, which is not what we want to have, okay? So don't forget to save this as a PNG. Okay, so that's it, and see you later in ROBLOX Studio. Alright guys, so back in ROBLOX Studio, we first of all want to import our image we've just created, so this lightning image of course. In order to do so, let's create a particle. So look for this particle emitter right here, and just leave the setting as it is right now. We will of course change it once we've imported our lightning image. And yeah, okay, so I'm importing it right now, and there we go. Okay, so this might look a bit weird to you guys right now, but if we play around with these properties, then I will assure you this thing will look fine as hell. Okay, let's begin. So let me play around a bit with this transparency right here, so I have actually no idea of what I'm doing right now. Probably setting some images to transparent, or other to less transparent, more transparent, whatsoever. And let's play around with this as well. So no, okay, so this is too big. Oh, so this is what happens. Okay, so I seem to understand now. Okay, so let's reset this, and in terms of this, let's do something else. So I would like to reset the whole thing right here. Hello, what is going on? Okay, so okay. Now rotation. Aren't they? Okay, so we probably need to change this rotation speed as well. And is it rotating, guys? Nope, it isn't. Let's put lifetime to 2. No, let's actually put it to 1. And put the rate down to 5. I still need to play around with this rotation, so I want to add. Okay, so there we go. So we have no. Why isn't this thing like randomly rotating? You know. So some images are like rotated to one side, the other images to the other side. So having this kind of difference, you know. Okay, so there we go. But this is too much, to be honest. Okay, so I think that this is actually okay. Now let's leave it as it is. And let's move on with the scripting, okay? So first of all, would like to add a HAMON bar. So a bar which you can fill up by holding a certain key. And once this bar is like, well, not totally filled up, but has reached a certain limit, then you will be able to use your HAMON moves. And I can tell you guys that you probably won't get to making the moves in this video, but probably in a future part 2, which is also up to you. So if you would like to see a part 2 on how to make a HAMON, then I would ask you guys to comment so by using hashtag HAMON, and to leave a like, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and to share this video to all of your friends who watch JoJo and who are curious on Roblox development in terms of JoJo and so on. Okay, so now let's get to the bar. Okay, so create this screen GUI, let's call it bar, and then let's create a frame called HAMON back. So this is the back, the background of our bar. Let's add this UI corner to make this to make the corners look more round. So I actually very like this look. I'm in love with it. And now let's adjust the size right here. So I'll leave it to you guys on how you would like to design your bar. This is just the way I would like to design it for this video, and if you want to stick to it, then do so, and if not, then go ahead, make your own stuff. But assure that you use certain things. I will show later on this video. So you will need certain things which need to be in your bar and which are necessary for this whole system, for this whole thing to work. Okay, but I will tell you later, guys. So this is our HAMON front, and this is obviously going to be the bar which I was talking about, so the thing which goes from left to right once it fills up. Okay, so this is my bar. Now it's pretty plain, pretty basic, but things don't need to be complicated that much. Okay, so this is totally fine. Now, so this front bar right here is necessary. So you will need a frame which represents the front bar, and that's actually, so there's actually no need for this HAMON back. I could turn this to transparent, and the front bar would continue to work. All right, so insert this local script right here, and what this local script will do is it will of course change the bar, but also detect when a certain key has been pressed in order to fill up the HAMON. Alright. Now let's first of all create a server script. Let's call this HAMON. And what this server script does is every time a new player joins, so this fires, so this is an event, this refers to the player, with the players tab right here, and player edit is the event of this tab. And once the player joins, then we will receive the player. So this is this displays the player, this represents the player, this first argument right here, and we will create an integer value. So an integer value is a value which stores a number. Well, to explain it in a very easy way, so this value holds a number, and this will of course hold our HAMON. So our HAMON in, well, in percent whatsoever. So let's make it actually in percent. So, or percentage, well, how is it being called? So in this, okay, so let's call this HAMON. So what we do right here is we're creating a new instance, an integer value, which I've said before, inside of the player. We give it the name HAMON right here, and we will make the value be 100 by default. Okay, so if we test things out now, we should have a HAMON value inside of our player, and this is the case. Okay, so let's put this particle inside of the script as well, and now we could actually move on with this local script right here. So we could say, or we could create the variable player, which obviously refers to the players, so then players, local player. And then we could also create a HAMON variable, which refers to the HAMON integer value inside of the player, which we are creating right here. And I would also wait, guys, so let me continue talking. Okay, so this refers to the HAMON integer value inside of the player, and I would recommend you guys to do this if you experience any issues with this variable accessing this integer value right here. So if you are experiencing any issues on line 4 here, then add this wait. So I will add it just to prevent any further issues. Okay, so so we have created 2 variables. So what we do now is we'll create a function which is called change bar. And what this function does is, so we have a max HAMON value right here, which is at 100. So our health from our player, for example, is at 100 as well. So the maximum health is at 100 as well. So this is what I was trying to say. And let's make this maximum HAMON be at 100 as well. Okay. So this is the limit of how long you can reach. And we will need this because we will need to do some math right here. So local tween, we will make use of the tween service, create tween, no, create is enough, and then script.parent. So script is this thing right here, so our script of course, dot parent is the thing which is above the script, so in which the script is inside of, which is this HAMON back frame right here. So this is script.parent, and now we want to access to this thing, so script.parent.HAMON front. This is what we are going to do now. Now tween input, so we have to pass some information, and the first argument is the time. Let's set the time to 0.25. Then, as you can see right here, the easing style. So this easing style, and you can set it to linear, bounce, elastic, whatsoever. So if you know anything about these easing styles, then feel free to use the easing style you desire. Okay, so And the next argument is the easing direction. Using direction, let's set this to in. And no, let's set this to out because I work with out all the time. Okay, number repeat count, set this to 0, then pause, and 0 again. So we don't want it to be repeated, to reverse, or to have some kind of delay time, because we have already put the time right here. Okay, so this is it. So this is it with the tween info. Now let's move on with the state of our frame we want to achieve through tweening. So tweening creates like some kind of transition between two states. So this is like my explanation. There's probably a far better one, so this is just my explanation for you guys. A pretty easy one, pretty easy to understand in my opinion. So we have like state 1 and state 2. Okay, so the state 1 of an instance, let's say of, so let me give you a short example. So we have this brick. Okay, so the brick, let me create 2 bricks. So we have this brick right here. Okay, and this brick at its current state is right here. Okay, and the second brick is right here at its current state, and we want this brick to be this brick's state. Okay, and when you would not use tweening, then you would just code a line which sets the position right here, and this thing would instantly move to here without any transition. Okay, and what tweening does is it makes some kind of transition depending on what you have like entered in tween info right here, and makes a smooth transition to this state. Okay, and this goes for all of the other properties as well, so not only for position. And we will now use this for position, of course, but you can also do this with transparency, with size, and with some other properties. Well, with all properties to be exact, okay? But many of them, they make like no sense, so there's like no point in using any tweening to it. Okay, so let's say position udem2. So udem2 is like for these GUIs. So GUIs are like 2-dimensional, so y and x. And okay, so this is obviously going to be the second state which I was like talking about. So the position for second state, and now we need to do some kind of calculation. So we need to divide our current HAMON, or current HAMON percentage. So we need to divide it by this value right here to get the current percentage. Let's say, no, wait, yes, I'm totally confused. So you need to divide our current HAMON percentage with this value right here in order to gain a number which can be used as the x scale. Okay, so let's say you have like 50 HAMON and divided by 100. Then you would receive 0.5, and 0.5 would be halfway, so the bar would be right here. And if you would divide, let's say you have like 60 HAMON left from 100, then your bar would be right somewhere around here. So it would take 60% of your whole bar right here. Okay, and this is the calculation I was talking about. So we need to divide our HAMON.value with our max HAMON. Then put 0, put wait guys, I have made some mistakes, but put 0.9 and put 0 again, and instead of position put size, because we want this bar to change its size, not its position. Alright, so that's it with creating this tween. Now we also of course need to make this thing play, and now we need to apply this when the player, or when the GUIs load, and we also need to apply this when the HAMON value changes for some reason, which we will get back to soon. So we will deal with receiving HAMON. This whole topic about HAMON breathe thing, and yeah. So okay, so I seem to narrow stuff out is not a okay. So this thing does not seem to be easing direction. Sorry guys. So use easing direction right here. And okay. So there's like actually an issue with this. And the issue is that so 95 is our maximum right here, and we need to lower this by 0.05, I think. So let's see if this works. Okay, so this works right here. What happens when we put this to 50? Okay, and this is what I was like expecting. Okay, now there's probably another way to deal with this. We could create a variable called calc, which consists of HAMON value divided by max HAMON, and then we could easily do if calc equals 1, then calc is 0.95. Then we would change this to calc. Let's see if this thing works. Let's hope so. Okay, so there's another issue. Okay, let's put this limit not to 100, but no, to 1, but we put it to 95, and add this greater symbol. So if calc is equal, so if calc equals 95 or is greater than that, then we'll always want it to be at 95. So this is just the display. Okay, so our actual HAMON value is above 95, or becomes above, or becomes greater than 95. So this is just for the displaying. So no need to worry about that. And it works. Alright guys, so it works. Very good, very good. Now let's move on with HAMON breathing. So we need to create another variable right here, which is the user input service. So this is a service which is responsible for detecting the user's input. Let's separate this thing. So this is about display. Now this is about using keys, HAMON briefing, and so on. So let's let's make this like HAMON breathing holdable. So if you hold a certain key, then your HAMON will increase or regenerate as long as you keep this key held. So what we need to do is user input servers, input begins. So if an input has obviously began, then next function, and the first argument is always the input, then the game processed event. And if not game processed event, so if the input hasn't been done while using a GUI or while interacting with other in-game items, then we want to check if for input decode equals let's say E. So if we start holding the E key, then our HAMON will start regenerating. Okay, let's also check for HAMON value below 100. And let's create another value called hold and hold false. Okay, so this is it. Hold true. So if our E key has been pressed and our HAMON value is below 100 or not greater than 100, and this hold value right here is false, which it is when no other key is being held, then we will set this hold value to true while making this check right here fail, so you cannot like double hold this. Okay, so and yeah, what we want to do then is we want to fire server a remote event. Let's create a remote event called HAMON, and let's create a variable for it. So let's call this variable remote. Game get service replicated storage, so we are referring to this replicated storage. Wait for child, HAMON. Then all we do is we fire server this HAMON event, and the first parameter is going to be the task this script has to do. So I like to do it this way, and the task is to begin HAMON breathing. Okay, now we can actually copy this, paste it, and input and create a input ended event right here. So if the input has ended, then and the hold is true, so just leaving it as hold is the same as doing this. Okay, so there is no difference. Then we make this false. Let's remove this condition. Then we make the hold value false, allowing the breathing again, as long as this condition is of course met, and this condition of course. And then we will fire server again with the task to stop HAMON breathing, so to clear all of these to clear all of the HAMON animations, the particles, and just stopping to increase the HAMON integer value right here. Okay, so I think that this is it with this script right here. Now let's move on with this script. Okay, so what we can first of all do is we can copy this variable, so we will need it, adding it to here and doing this on server event. So if the remote event has been fire served, so there's an event. If the remote event has been fire served, then first argument we always receive is the player, and then the task. And yeah, so that's actually it. Now let's create another variable called HAMON v. So this stands for HAMON value, and we make it refer to the HAMON value instead of the player, or which should be inside of the player. There we go. Like this. Now we check for the task. So if the task is to begin HAMON breathing, then we create an animation. Insert new animation inside of the player's character, and we call this animation HAMON breathing, of course. So this will be our HAMON breathing animation. So I will leave this for later. So I will later, of course, create the animation, export it, and put the animation ID inside of here. Okay, so this is on how you create an animation and play it. Now let's create a value called, so an integer value, but you can also make a string value. You can even make another instance, okay, which does not affect the player in any way. So I just want to make the script understand that the player is currently HAMON breathing by creating a integer value inside of the character, which represents this state of the player, the state of HAMON breathing. Okay, so int value, and this is going to be important because we will like only make the player increase his or her HAMON as long as this value exists. So if this value is being removed, then the HAMON breathing will stop, and this value will be removed once the remote event is being fire served right here. Okay, and this is pretty important. Let's call this is HAMON breathing, so there's no confusion with the animation above. And now we do while player character find first child is HAMON breathing or HAMON breathing do. Now do wait 1. You can also lower or increase it, so this is the time in which your HAMON is being increased. So every second your HAMON is being increased by, I don't know, by 1, by 2, by 3, so it is actually up to you, but you can also change this to anything else, maybe 0.5, so every 0.5 seconds your HAMON is being increased by whatsoever. So this is actually up to you. I will leave it to 1 for now, of course. And now on HAMON v, so our HAMON value, HAMON v dot value equals HAMON v value plus, let me put something between, so a random number between 1 and 3. So this is the thing, no, this is the value by which our HAMON percentage or HAMON value increases every 1 second. So if you plan on changing the amount of HAMON you receive per a certain amount of time, then you will need to change this. And if you want to change the time span in which you gain new HAMON, then you will need to change this. Okay, so keep that in mind. Okay, now we also should do the following. Let's like loop through the let's loop through the player. So player character get children. So this gets all of the players children, and by children I mean all of the components which are inside of the player, which are put inside of the player. So things like body parts, humanoid, accessories, hats, hair, whatsoever. And we check if, so BP stands for our body part. This is the index, which has no relevance to us in this case, and this is our body part. So BP stands for body part. And if body parts, so the thing we're currently at, so you have to imagine that we are looping through a table which contains all of the character's components, and this represents the thing or the entry we are currently at. And if this thing is a mesh part, so it's actually a physical part which we can clearly see and feel with our Roblox character, then we want to put our HAMON particle inside of it. And I would like to lower the rate first of all, and then do the local p script HAMON clone, and then p current BP. Okay, so this is on how you put all of the particles inside of the player. Now let's also create this animation pretty fast. So let's go, guys. So import this dummy, open the animation editor, and HB for HAMON breathing. And I have to admit that I do not actually remember how this thing looked like, so I have finished watching JoJo some years ago. I'm currently at the recent season, reading the manga. So, but I've actually like stopped reading the manga as well because I think that it got a bit boring. So the whole story around Johnny Joestar was actually pretty cool. So when the universe got resetted and I've just spoiled you guys. I'm pretty sorry. I'm pretty sorry, guys. So the whole thing about Johnny Joestar was pretty cool, in my opinion, and the whole thing about Enrico Pucci was cool as well. So I actually really enjoyed these stories, and the whole stuff before was pretty cool as well. So there's like there's no need for me to say that, okay? So it's pretty obvious in my opinion. So I think that the HAMON breathing kind of looked like this. I could be wrong as well. I have Did something wrong. So let's move this by 0.5 stats. Okay, perfect. Now this is a bit too fast, in my opinion. Let me just make this 2 times longer. And there we go, guys. So this is our HAMON breathing animation right here. So don't forget to change the animation priority to action and then export it, okay? And after you've exported it, copy the animation ID you receive. And with this animation ID, all you need to do is you will need to paste it in here. So where it says animation ID. So after these 2 slashes, place it here, okay? So now an animation should be played, and we should like gain HAMON. And let's also do the following. So if HAMON V value is greater than 100, so 100 is our maximum HAMON, if you remember. So if this is greater than 100, then we want HAMON V value minus 100 to be okay. So this is like the rest. So this is like the number this is the number which made the no, guys, let me give an example. So my English isn't that perfect to explain any math to you, okay? So let me just give you a short example. So let's say we have HAMON, okay? This HAMON is at 105, okay? But the maximum is at 100, so it clearly exceeded its maximum, okay? And there's like 5 HAMON, which makes HAMON and the maximum HAMON greater, okay? This 5 is being calculated right here, okay? So this is 5 in this case. And what we want to do is we want to remove 5% of our existing HAMON in order to make this 100. And this is what we're doing right here. So we're referring to our HAMON value, and we're lowering it by the amount which makes it exceed the limit. I hope that you have understood this with my bad English. Okay. Now let's make another task thing right here. So else if task stop HAMON breathing, I think it was. Yeah. So if the task is to stop the HAMON breathing, then we first of all want to check for this value, because we need to delete this in order for this to stop. So if player character find first child is HAMON breathing, then we want to remove this. And we also want to clear these animations and these particles. So in order to stop these animations, we do. So we're using this for in pairs loop, and we'll copy this, and we want to get playing animation tracks. So hope that this is right. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're receiving a table with all of the currently playing animations, okay? And if our animation right here is playing, then this animation should also exist in this table. And what we want to do is we will loop through this table looking for this animation in order to stop it. So if anim with name equals HAMON breathing, then anim stop. Then we also want to remove the animation itself. So this is just the loaded animation. There's a huge difference, well, not a huge difference, but there's a difference between the animation as an instance and the animation in its loaded state. So these are two different things. And we're looking for the HAMON breathing animation right here, and we're destroying it. I'll destroy. And the last step is to remove all of these particles. So we can just loop through the character again and check if the body part is a mesh part, but we also check if BP has something called, what is happening, called HAMON. And this thing can only be the particle. And if something like this exists inside of any of these body parts, then we of course want to remove it. And there's another thing which I forgot to implement, so let's make the player also unable to move and jump. So walk speed is set to 0 and jump power is set to 0 as well. I'll copy this and put it here. And there we go. Okay, now this should work. Let's hope so, guys. Let's hope so. So we're currently at 1 hour, 2 minutes. Okay, so let me first of all lower this so we can actually see the difference, and let's go. Okay, so instantly turn to 100, and what is the reason for that? What could be the reason for that? Okay, so I actually need to lower it every time to be able to HAMON breathe increased. So it only increases one time, but it completely increases. Oh. So the issue is that I manually, so you guys just saw it, so I manually went to players and tried to lower it through the client's perspective, okay, and this is wrong. So if you want to do the same as me, then you need to click on this first of all to change to the server's perspective, and then to change this value right here. So for the server, my HAMON value was still at 100, and it used this as basis inside of here, and try to add this value to 100, okay, and that caused the extreme increasement. And now you might ask, why was I able to increase in the first place when my HAMON was still at 100. This is because we're checking, right? We're checking if the HAMON value is not greater than 100, but this is only client-sided, okay? And we have changed the value on our client, okay? But the client's change do not replicate to the server right away, so you need to work with remote events in order to replicate it. Okay, and now this should work totally fine. And as you can see, things are increasing slowly, and this electricity thing actually looks pretty weird, guys. I have to admit that, but better than nothing, I think, and it still looks like some things, you know? So if you guys, so is this, no, this is not increasing anymore. So if you guys have enjoyed this video, then please do not forget to leave a like, subscribe, share this video to all of your friends. Don't forget to turn on the notification bell to check out the join member option and to give me feedback on this video. Comment something, guys, and don't forget to check out the description in order to receive this model, but also to stay updated on all of my projects. I'm currently making a One Piece game myself, so many of you have been asking on whether I am developing myself or I'm making a One Piece game, and I'm proud to say yes, guys. I've been working on a One Piece game for a pretty long time now, and the game is just going to be great. So if you want to stay updated on this game, then don't forget to check out the Discord in the description and the Roblox group. Follow my Roblox profile whatsoever, guys. Okay, take care, guys, and see you in the next video.